Because they're there because they're good. They're better than them white boys. That's why they're there.
You get a haircut? No, but see, it wouldn't make sense.
Why? And all they want... See, sports is funny. Sports is a level playing field. And you know, a brother ain't gonna let them white boys be better than him in anything. And all the guys who made big names in the NHL on Boston, Canadiens, New York Rangers, and look down on us. Say why you didn't play in the NHL, please? Too colorful. What does that mean? Too colorful for the league. See, we have a connection, but we're the wrong complexion, so we know you could have played in the NHL. So do you. Don't be modest. Listen, at one time they had a fellow...
Sports has often been called society's true meritocracy, the only area where people are measured solely by their talent. But the history of blacks in hockey tells a different story. At the turn of the century, blacks in Nova Scotia and Ontario were already playing hockey in significant numbers. Unwelcome in the existing professional leagues, they formed their own all-black league in 1903. In the 1940s, 3 black players traveled to northern Quebec and proceeded to write one of the least known chapters in hockey history. For almost a decade, an all-black line comprised of Manny McIntyre, Herb Carnegie, and his brother Ozzie starred in the Quebec Provincial League, one notch below the NHL. And over the years, the trio played alongside such legendary names as Doug Harvey, Punch Imlach, and Jacques Plante.
The name, the famous colored line, came about because we excited the crowd by our fast play, our tough play, our staying on the ice. Because we were good. And we were different because we were colored.
3 black players playing on one team and on one line was extraordinary.
The 3 of them had the ingredient that what makes a good line. One hard-working guys, the other one with a big shot, the other one with the play-making.
Refereed all the colored line, yeah. And as a line, they were very well balanced. And as a line, in my opinion, they could have been all in the NHL as a line, with Herbie leading them.
It was dazzling, and the fact that it was significant was evident in the New York Times, which ran a picture of the 3 of them.
Long, long time ago, we really understand.
I remember playing against the Canadiens, an exhibition game, and we played against their ace line, which was Maurice Richard, Joe Blake, and Elmer Lang. And that evening, that night we played them, we beat them 4-2. It was an exhibition game, but we still beat the Canadiens 4-2.
While the trio made headlines throughout Quebec for their on-ice exploits, it was the center Herb Carnegie who emerged as its superstar. Season after season, Carnegie dominated the league's scoring statistics and won 3 consecutive Most Valuable Player awards from 1944 to 1947.
Herbie could have made any team in the world. He was that good.
To watch him work a puck, even without a stick, he'd go in the corner and he'd do more work with his feet than most hockey players could do with their stick. Absolutely fabulous in the corners. He played against all the guys that went in the NHL, let's put it that way, and was every bit as good as them.
In 1949, Herb Carnegie joined the Quebec Aces of the Senior League, where he played alongside a young Jean Beliveau for 2 years.
I think he had the ability to play in the NHL, but I suppose that different owners or different general manager maybe were afraid to be the first one to hire one-collar people.
I was denied the opportunity to try out. That's what really bothers me the most, In the days when I was, I'm going to say, doing my thing and doing it well.
And we knew that time was not on our side. So I was disappointed for Herb, because this was his dream of a lifetime.
Joining us in studio is Richard Lord, a man you probably know. His name is... He's been a man about town for a number of years now. He's a Montreal immigration judge as well as a refugee court judge, and he was the first black hockey player in the NCAA. He went to Michigan State back in the late 40s, early 50s. He is leading or spearheading a drive to get Herb Carnegie, who everybody genuinely concedes is the finest black hockey player that Canada's ever produced, who was never given a chance to play in the NHL because of a color bar, into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
But when I went down to the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto, and I saw all the pictures, and I didn't see one black face there, giving the indication that there was no qualified black hockey players in Canada to play for the NHL. And this is false.
Let's talk to the man himself. He's been on our show before, and it's always an honor to speak with Mr. Carnegie. Hi, Mr. Carnegie. How you doing?
I'm terrific, thank you, Terry, and thank you for having me on your show this evening.
Well, like I say, it's always a treat to speak with you. I know that this isn't just for yourself, that you want this to happen.
If you are not, let's say, inducted into the club, so to speak, you remain zero forever, and anyone following you can say, well, we've never had a black person up here before. Why should we bring up one now? Do I belong in the Hockey Hall of Fame? That's for others to say.
You know how I feel, Mr. Carnegie. Yes, Richard, before we take a break.
Notwithstanding what Herb Carnegie just said, there were many other blacks playing hockey, but Herb Carnegie was special. He could keep up with the best. He could keep up with Jean Beliveau. And I'm trying to say he earned his place. I'm not pushing for Herb because he's black. I'm pushing him as a Canadian. He was the best at that time.
Nick Hyacinth is one of North America's top black junior A prospects. He plays for Val-d'Or in the same region of northern Quebec where Herb Carnegie and the all-colored line played more than a half-century earlier.
Like every kid, my dream was to play in the NHL. That was why I started playing hockey, play one day in the NHL. When I was a kid, they always called me like the word nigger. Like this is like all the time, every single game. You know, nigger, what you're doing over here, you should play basketball, soccer. If that's gonna bother me, I'm not in the right sport. They can say whatever they want now. That's not gonna change nothing for me.
With the NHL draft a few months away, 18-year-old Sinik's aggressive style has attracted the attention of a number of NHL scouts.
I realized that it's coming soon. Probably one day I'm gonna get drafted in the NHL, like I always dream of.
The inspiration for Richard Lord's crusade comes from a sports milestone that happened more than 50 years ago. Baseball's color barrier was shattered when the Brooklyn Dodgers signed Jackie Robinson to their Montreal Royals farm team.
Oh, I met Jackie Robinson in 1947-48. And in fact, when he broke the barrier in sports in 1947, I, who was a hockey player at that time, thought it would also break the barrier in hockey, and then there would be more black hockey players. But it hasn't happened. It seems it's starting to occur in the late 1990s. In other words, we're about 50 years late.
In the early 60s, baseball superstar Ted Williams crusaded to have a number of barred Negro League players inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
And I hope that someday the names of Satchel Paige and Josh Gibson in some way can be added as a symbol of the great Negro players that are not here only because they were not given a chance.
In 1969, Major League Baseball acknowledged its racist past by inducting former Negro League stars into the Hall.
And I'm hoping that when you're fighting for something that is positive and good, like Jackie Robinson, like the blacks in the NHL, that they'll recognize that my victory is their victory.
Hey, Richard, how are you?
Fine, it's good to see you.
Great, grab a seat here.
Okay.
Hey, long time.
Yeah. I'm sorry to disturb you on such a beautiful afternoon. I would like to see Herb Carnegie in National Hockey League Hall of Fame as a person who was before his time.
I like to talk individually to the people on those boards and say, give me an honest answer why Herbie is not in the Hall of Fame. But somewhere along the line, he deserves to be in there. And Herbie refuses to be mad at what's happened to him. I'm mad for him. And if you're on that kick now of getting Herbie where he rightfully belongs, I'll be your #1 fan. I'll be right beside you opening the door for you.
I'm going to write to the Hockey Hall of Fame of Canada. I'm going to send Ren a copy of the letter I write. I'm going to send Jean Beliveau a copy of the letter I'm writing. I'm going to send Herb Carnegie a copy of the letter I'm writing and wait for a reaction.
Yeah, I'd like to hear what goes on behind the scenes so I'd know who hates, who doesn't hate. I know it still goes on because I know some of my friends when I hear them talk. I know they lean not the good way. Right. And I have to straighten them out a little bit verbally.
I'm calling you from Red Story's house. Yes, and we were talking about you. And so I was here soliciting the support of Red. I just want you to say hello to Red Story. One moment, please.
Herbie, old boy. How you doing? Oh my God, what a nice guy to talk to. It's my pleasure to be talking. Well, you turned me inside out. That's why I had to quit. But Richard Lord's over here today, and he's front and center trying to do something for Herbie Carnegie and get him into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yes, Mr. Carnegie.
Everybody from the past knows Conn Smythe as the owner and head honcho of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And if you didn't know it, you'd soon find out if you were working there. He put it in the Toronto paper one day. He would give anybody $10,000 if they could turn Herbie Carnegie white.
Better show him something or else. Get out in that
Let me say, I was conscious of carrying Conn Smythe's remark with me all the way through my hockey career. And I always played the game as if to say, there's somebody bigger than Conn Smythe who will say, come and play for us. I never at any time played a losing game because, oh, what's the use? I never entered that mindset, oh, what's the use?
Well, you know, there's a myth that we live by that only in the United States there's racial prejudice. And Canada's perfect. But many of my friends in the past have come to Montreal to eat in certain restaurants and stay at certain hotels and were barred. And they were barred directly because of their color.
I think the individuals that deliberately deny or destroy a person through racism, I don't know how he or she could feel good about themselves.
Yeah, when they blocked Herb Carnegie to the National Hockey League, it broke the dreams of all players of colors. It just shattered your dream, not just broke, it shattered. It was, if he can't make it, well, what's the opportunity?
He was the leader.
He was the leader.
Richard Lord has come to Toronto to visit Herb Carnegie. It's the first time the two have met. Carnegie is now 81 years old and almost totally blind. He and Lord arranged to meet near the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Very privileged, and very privileged, an honor to be in your presence, to be in your presence. But I'm the generation that came right behind you. And I'm saying the reason you have the violent generation right behind me is because they deprived you, and I did nothing about it. Mr. Carnegie, sir, you got to be given your due, and your picture and your background should be on the board in the National Hall of Fame. And sir, as long as there's breath in my thing, and I will fight to make sure you'll there, and you will be there. You will be there. And God willing, because too many of us have paid too high a price. Carnegie should be there. They contact Jean Beliveau on the phone. This is a radio program. Jean said, oh yeah, sure. The gentleman should be there. And so we had big rolling in the studio. This is very, very, very good.
Well, Mr. Lord and Mr. Carnegie, I'm Jamal Mayers. I play for St. Louis Blues, and I'm a right winger. It's nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My name is Jason Doig. Play with the New York Rangers, defenseman. I think we've met, but nice to see you again. You too.
Whose hand do I have?
Mr.
Jason.
Jason.
Okay.
And me, I'm George Laraque. I play for Acton Batters in juniors. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay.
My name is George Laraque. I play with the Edmonton Oilers. Richard, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Carnegie.
Yes, nice to meet you. A fly in a pail of milk. Does that mean anything to any one of you fellows? A fly in a pail of milk. That's me. Everywhere I was alone. And I see some of you guys who are alone on your team. You're the fly out there. The only other black company you have is the puck and maybe some black tape on the stick.
On his shoulders, you will grow. You and you and you will grow. Because it will inspire the kids in the local community, in Toronto and Halifax and in Hamilton. But much more important, I want to know what you're going to do, what you're going to do, what you're going to do, and what you're going to do. You have a mother and a father and a sister and a brother. You come from a community, and the kids look up to you.
Maybe with us, it would help, but the league should talk about you guys more, and then it's going to have the minority and make the sport bigger. Why in baseball we see Jackie everywhere and we don't see his name? See, that's not fair, and that's why we have to talk to the NHL, because it makes no sense. We should know, like Ken Griffey, he knows. He's doing 40 home runs a year. Why? Because of Jackie. They should have did something about the Hall of Fame and talking about you guys' history, because it's a shame that today we're there in front of you guys and we never heard about anything. And if we don't know anyone in NHL, well, the kids that they're growing, they're not gonna know.
Put some color into National Hockey League Hall of Fame, and then from that, build.
Well, when I was born in Montreal, with all my friends, everybody was playing hockey in the street, and it was so popular, that sport. So I told my parents that this is what I wanted to do. When you're young, basically, is when it's the hardest time to go through it. And I know a lot of kids that did try to play hockey, but because of that, they quit. They've cried too much, and their parents didn't like that. Because, when you're young, you gotta enjoy your life. You can't grow like I did, like coming back home crying or be mad or be sad or, my mother called me this, what did I do? Kids at 7 years old, they know what a nigger is, but their parents was telling them to tell me that. Make it to the NHL, for me, it's even more unbelievable by the fact that I have to go through those things. Any other guys, when they go to NHL, not that it's not hard, but they just have to worry about hockey. But I have to worry about not hockey. I had to worry about everything outside of hockey. And after that, I had to worry about hockey. It was white against black, and I was by myself. They wouldn't take me in AA team because I was black, but I didn't care. I'd give my best all the time. They gave me name. It hurt me inside, but nobody could have seen it. There's no way that I would have let somebody that was so racist to put me down. There were so many people that was telling me name that I knew that if I showed them that it pissed me off, they'd be happy. So I just had no reaction. I kept everything to myself when I was young, and because of that, I still do the same thing. Even though I have girlfriend or friends or anything, I can't show my feelings because since I'm young, I had everything I had inside of me to don't show people that they hurt me. Because it was all, when I was young, I was always by my, like Mr. Carnegie said about his book that he was, I think, a fly in a pill of milk. Yeah, it was the same thing for me.
We're not going to admit we were wrong, but we're going to do this. We're going to include your name among the greats in the National Hockey League.
Well, let me ask you a question. If you had a son named Jason Doherty and a white hockey player called him a nigger, Doyle, what would you tell your son?
I would call him about Doherty, Mark. Shut up, man. Tell my son if he say recognition. What? Recognition.
Recognition?
That's right.
You tell your son?
Because it's just like Jesse Jackson said. We're going to use the word nigger so much that it becomes a name to be proud of. Yeah. Take the word nigger and keep on using the word nigger until it becomes like gold. You're a nigger, now you're a rare person. You're a guy who you withstood slavery, you withstood hardship, you withstood all the doors that were barred to, and you kept on coming. My God.
So take a negative and turn it into a positive?
Yeah, make it negative and turn it into a positive.
Wouldn't it be more positive if you hit him with a right hook?
Immediately.
And break it, Joe.
Yeah.
It never forget you.
Showed up. Because we know that the sacrifices made were not in vain. We passed it a torch to a man we could be proud of. Yeah. To say, my God, geez, look what we have produced. Isn't that fantastic? And that's what we're proud.
Cool.
I can't believe that it's about to happen for me. After all of this time, will the dream become mine?
All right, Gary, and the Bruins have already started their draft day wheeling and dealing. Gary told you that Atlanta took Peter Ferraro in today's expansion draft.
I'm going to be nervous because this is the moment I waited all my life. I was playing for to get drafted.
Any clients of ours who are evaluated past the third round by the NHL teams, we advise them not to come to the draft. We don't like them sitting here for 6 or 7 hours and sometimes going home disappointed. Before taking him on as a client, I consulted with a couple of NHL scouts, and I talked to Claude Ruel of the Montreal Canadiens, who's a renowned scout and has been in the business for, well, almost 40 years now. And Claude recommended him to me very highly. He said, this kid's going to play in the NHL someday. He's got heart, and that's what you need to play in the NHL.
In terms of senior management of NHL teams, it's predominantly white sea of faces.
Why do you think that is? I mean, you asked me to explain it, but you should think for a minute that we don't have anybody to draw from other than white management people and coaches. They haven't played the sport.
Bobby R. There you are, Willie.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's you. That's just when you broke in?
Yeah.
In 1958, more than a decade after Jackie Robinson broke into baseball, the NHL's color barrier finally fell when the Boston Bruins signed Willie O'Ree to a professional contract. O'Ree played only 45 games in the NHL before being sent to the minors.
It took 40 years from the time that I broke into the league, and then it was 17 years after I broke into the league that the next black player come into the league. So that span of 17 years, were there any players of color playing hockey at that particular time? And why weren't they noticed? And why weren't they playing in these leagues, or just getting the chance to even go to a training camp? When I was sitting up there and looking at the draft tables, I didn't see too many faces of color, and I think that has to change because I think it's just going to make it possible for more boys and girls of color to get in and start playing and get drafted.
Just wanted to ask if you're proud to head the team that sort of the Brooklyn Dodgers of hockey, the team that gave the first black hockey player a chance.
Yeah, we are proud of that, and it's just a nice acknowledgement by everybody to feel that, even back in those days, that we harbored no prejudices. It's much different than baseball. There were very few black boys playing hockey, and had there been more, we would have had more in the league. And since that day, there are a number of black boys playing, and wonderful athletes. If they want to play hockey, they could fill up this league.
Do you think there's still obstacles to?
No, none whatsoever. No? None whatsoever. Never has been, really. There just wasn't any, very few black people in Canada. Anyway, at that time in particular, never mind hockey players.
I don't think we have an agenda to develop minority players of any minority. We have an agenda to get the best players we can. And we have players on our team from a number of different countries and lots of different backgrounds, and that's really what our objective is. We're not trying to eliminate anybody, but neither are we trying to encourage a certain participation from players from Texas or players from Sweden or for any other place.
I think he'll get drafted, but I think it's going to be late. According to our information, probably be like 7th, 8th, 9th round. So.
But I wanna know, will I be the chosen one? Hey, yeah. In 1994, the NHL formed a diversity task force to increase minority participation in hockey. Willie O'Ree was hired as the director of youth development.
Created for a few reasons, but primarily to give all kids a chance to play hockey. That's really the reason we did it. We knew that there were some barriers of entrance for kids: the cost of equipment, the cost of ice time, accessibility and availability of good coaching and mentoring. And we thought that the NHL and USA Hockey could get together to help provide the pieces of the puzzle so that all kids could get a chance to play.
When I broke into the National Hockey League, I was faced actually with 5 things. I was blind in one eye, I lost my right eye, but I was faced with racism, prejudice, bigotry, and ignorance. And these things exist today.
Where's the captain and the coach? Right down here. Where's the captain? Come on, right down here. How long you been playing?
I
I got Willie O'Ree's autograph and this other guy.
Tell me, who is your hero?
Willie O'Ree.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How come?
Because he was the first black man to play ice hockey, and I like him. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Carol?
It's the start.
Start. Okay. Let's see, what category should we put him in? Let me see. There's 4 categories: player and veteran player. A second category: builder, coaching, managerial, executive ability, sportsmanship, character, contribution to the organization, to the game of hockey in general. Okay, builder.
There's got to be a room for him in there somewhere.
I agree with you. There's got to be a room for him somehow. I felt that he could get in the category as a builder.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I looked at the thing, builder, character, or contribution to the organization, to the game in general.
Yeah.
And they said he doesn't have to be active or inactive, and he has that program, Future Ace program, and have started the first Canadian hockey school.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. He deserves it.
He deserves it.
I believe in that wholeheartedly.
Okay,
So
Rick.
I'll give him a call.
Okay, Rick. Okay, thanks a million.
Good luck with everything.
Okay, thank you.
Nowadays, you're living in a different world. You're living in a world where people are saying, look, I don't like this. And I'm going to stand up for ourselves. But we were always taught not to rock the boat. Don't rock the boat.
In 1953, Herb Carnegie gave up on his dream to make the NHL and retired from hockey. A year later, he established Canada's first hockey school, the Future Aces. Carnegie developed a Future Aces creed based on tolerance, diversity, and sportsmanship. In 1993, Marvel Comics devoted 2 special issues of Spider-Man comics to Carnegie and the Future Aces creed. Today, Carnegie devotes his time to spreading the creed throughout Ontario, where it has been adapted by more than 50 schools and sports associations.
From your speech and everything, our school has never had racism here, and we don't want it to come. I just want to say that. And you rock.
In my early 30s, I was a pretty angry guy, but I was very fortunate to have Audrey and our children. I had a reason for living. I had a reason for being here.
It's a guessing game. Every team will have a different player rated in that spot. It's a new group of kids, if you will.
You did it. You happy? Ecstatic.
Allô? Junior, c'est Bob. J'ai des bonnes nouvelles. Tu vas jouer pour les Sabres de Buffalo. Début de la 6e ronde. 178 au total. Oui. All right? C'est cool? It better be cool. OK, là, le gros party chez toi, là, ce soir. All right? Le gros party. Je vous rappelle ce soir. Je vous rappelle. OK, bye.
Well, I think I'm staying for...
What was his reaction?
They're going nuts.
I'm sorry, Juan. C'est documenté maintenant.
Yeah, that was nice.
I love you, Brother Tom. I give you a hard time and stuff.
The room freezes me. That was nice.
Today's draft, there's been only one black player taken. That's in a very late round. What's to say about the progress of blacks in hockey?
It's a bit disheartening because you are seeing more and more black players on the ice and in your top minor leagues, AHL and the IHL, and in the NHL. So you would hope to see more and more blacks in each year. I think if this is the same case 5 years from now or 10 years from now, then you very obviously clearly have a failure of the NHL's diversity task force and maybe some bigger problems to look at.
No hockey, there's no hockey influence whatsoever down in Little Burgundy. None.
Oh, and
we live right next to the Forum. Yeah. Imagine that.
Yeah,
we're right next to the Forum.
That's it.
And there's
That's
no
another
hockey
thing.
interest.
What happened? Canada should lead the way when it comes to hiring most black players, because this is where a lot of it started at. Or natives. I'm not talking about just blacks. I'm talking about other ethnics. You know what I mean? Latin Americans too. And I see a lot of Chinese kids out there playing hockey. So not only that, but they got to support a lot of, like, the Montreal Canadiens got to give more support to a lot of the little kids that are running around here playing hockey in the summertime. In the wintertime, outdoors. And I don't think that they're doing enough of that, And we had a really good hockey player that came from here, Tommy Kane. You know of Tommy Kane? Yeah, Tommy Kane was the best hockey player, one of the best hockey players ever came from this area. He played on the same line as Mary Lemieux. And when they went to the Forum and they were playing at the Forum, he was the one that won all the trophies. But he wound up playing football, but he was just good at anything, So he was a guy who could have played with the Montreal Canadiens. They never even thought about him.
Tommy Kane played college football for Syracuse University and went on to become a star receiver for the Seattle Seahawks of the NFL.
Man, hey, Tommy Kane didn't let nothing stop him, hold him down, cause it went around.
That's Tommy Kane, played for Seattle Seahawks in the NFL.
Joueur de football, joueur de hockey, joué avec Mario Lemieux.
Retired now.
Il jouait l'équipe de Detroit.
Yeah,
My name is Brian Johnson. I played with Detroit Red Wings.
What do you think?
Well, I remember one tournament we played. I was the only black in the whole league, and coming off the ice, they were throwing Coke bottles, empty Coke bottles. That right there. After that game, I decided, Tommy, the Lord has blessed you to play other sports. You need to really focus and turn your goals around. So that's when I started to, 11, 12 years old, that's when I started to really gear towards basketball, baseball, and football. I remember the Coke bottle smashing and me hearing that, and I had my helmet off at the time, coming off the ice, and I said, do they really hate me that bad? Because the pigmentation of my skin, I don't even know these people. So after that happened, I went back in the locker room, and my own teammates, this is what really threw my equilibrium off.
They back off, right?
My own teammates were cracking black jokes at the Coke bottles that were thrown at me. And that one incident made my whole life change.
Was I bitter? Of course I was bitter. Do not plant bitter seeds, because you don't know who's going to carry those seeds to do some damage to self or to the community. This is dangerous information to know that there are people out there that are wronged. You don't know what people carry in their hearts.
During the 1997-98 season, a number of high-profile racial incidents would tarnish the image of the NHL.
We're in the middle of a long road trip, and we were battling pretty hard. We were trying to get the tying goal. We were down by a goal late, and game had just ended. They won. They beat us by a goal or whatever, and he kind of, as we were going back to congratulate our goalie or whatever as a team, he took a shot at Dougie Waite, who's our superstar. He's our best player, and I just kind of felt like he didn't have to go out of his way to touch Dougie, especially someone like Dougie on our team. So I kind of pushed him, gave him a little shot, and he gave me it. And we kind of just pushed each other, and I was skating away. He called me nigger. It was an unfortunate incident, and just tried to put it behind me, really.
When people say that, like people say some stuff to me now, I mean, I don't want to even let them get to me. You know, if anything, I take it as motivation. If someone's gonna say, well, listen, you're a monkey, go back to the jungle, stop playing our game. I'm gonna, go play basketball. I'm gonna say, well, you know what? I could probably be in the basketball court, but I'm gonna prove to you, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna beat you out here too. If you let these people get to you, if you let them use words just to get you out, I mean, you're making their job so much easier.
Some of the stuff that happened with parents in the stands was harder to take just because my parents were out there and stuff they had to listen to, and I know it bothered them as well.
We stopped sitting in the stands. We would stand along the boards and the glass and watch the game. And so we just stopped sitting in the stands.
I sat in the audience. And I could hear them calling him different names. And of course, with me and my color, I just sat there. They didn't recognize who I was.
What did you hear in the stand?
Well, name calling.
What name calling?
Nigger or do whatever. You know, the usual names you get called when you're on the ice and you're different. When I came off the ice, I was mad. But what can I do?
You ever tempted to say anything to these people?
No, actually, we didn't do that in those days. You just took it.
In the spring of 2000, Richard Lord's campaign achieves its first success. Toronto Star reporter Jim Proudfoot, a member of the Hall of Fame selection committee, nominates Herb Carnegie, the first step in the induction process.
Yeah, I just talked to Jim Proudfoot.
Who is he?
He's a person who nominated Herb Carnegie. He's a Hockey Hall of Fame.
Really?
And he said it's going to be an uphill battle. And it's going to be difficult. Well, difficult to convince his colleagues to nominate him to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
When is all this going to happen?
It started right now. I guess we'll start right now. And therefore, if you see me running up and down excited, you just have to bear with me.
It would be a wonderful legacy to be recognized as a player and as a person who contributed significantly to the game of hockey and to life in general. That would be just a great honor.
Over the last couple of months, we haven't had much contact with the Buffalo Sabres because Senek broke his elbow about 2.5 months ago. So he spent a lot of time back in Val-d'Or and has just gotten back to action about a week ago. So we'll be contacting Buffalo within the next couple of weeks and seeing how they would like to handle it from here on into the end of the year. And obviously, they're curious to see how he's going to react coming back from this pretty serious injury.
Jim Proudfoot here. Please leave me a message. I'll get back to you when I can.
Richard Lord Howard calling again, 514-481.
In April, Proudfoot suffers a stroke and won't be able to argue for Carnegie at the Hall of Fame selection meeting in June.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
We're waiting to hear the results of the committee on Herb Carnegie. I was hoping that Jim Proudfoot would be... Continue standing by. Well, it's about to be made in about, say, a minute or two, so we're standing by.
What do you think the odds are?
80 in favor to 20 if Jim Proudfoot was there. Not being there, say 50-50. And with people looking forward, I hope that they bring the results back to 80 to 20.
Years ago, the odds were slim and none.
That's right.
Until you got on the case.
As I turn this over to Jimmy Gregory, he will speak on behalf of our meeting that just concluded. Briefly, we look at the selection committee as being roughly 6 NHL managers, 5 media, 6 ex-players, and 1 referee, totaling 18. And they're very knowledgeable on the game of hockey. We consider a number of worthy candidates each year in both the builder and player categories, and also in the referee and linesman categories. I am pleased to announce today that there are 3 outstanding individuals that have been elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame. In the builder category, Mr. Walter Bush has served the game of hockey at all levels in the United States. We have selected today 2 additions to the Hockey Hall of Fame in the players category. Our first player inductee was born in New York City and did not don a pair of skates until he was 10 years old. After an outstanding collegiate career with the Boston College Eagles,
Only 3.
he signed as a free agent with the Mio Francis and the St. Louis Blues.
Thank you very much, Jim. It's definitely an honor and a privilege for me, and I can't explain how.
They must be morally bankrupt, those guys. Because they all know who he was.
Yeah, it's a sad day. I like to say, Herb, we did what we could do. We'll try to do it again better, but...
When is the next one?
God willing.
When is the next vote?
Share, God willing.
God willing?
Yeah. And at 81, I don't think a man could do any more. He's run his race.
Cameraman, the old guy's nominated?
No, he didn't get it in.
Oh. But he's an ex-NHLer?
Not this guy.
Thanks for giving me a call with the news. We'll try to keep a positive outlook. And thanks to you and all the guys for what you did. And I guess that's about all I have to say. And just one addition, where there's life, there's hope. Take care. Bye for now.
End of message.